Hey, what's going on? Todd Shaw with another episode of the Sawdust Dude. Oh yeah, what's going on? Hey, I appreciate you watching. Thanks so much. Today, because some of you have reached out and you want to talk more about the INCA 710 3-wheel bandsaw. So we're going to do it. Thanks to you. Appreciate it. Hey, you know what? It brings me to a great point. I'm doing this video because somebody left a comment, and so I make a video. And you know what? That helps this channel grow too. So give it a thumbs up, leave a comment. YouTube kind of likes that stuff and promotes my channel, and that helps me out. So thank you. This particular one is a Swedish made model, so yours may be a little different color, made in, I think they went to Italy after Sweden. But anyway, so basically it's the same saw, different color, maybe some other little changes and stuff, but the dynamics are about the same. Now, I got other videos about, you know, doing some maintenance on it, an overall thing, and another video about, you know, bandsaw size and different little setups like that. So, but today we're talking really about the drivetrain. A couple people have asked about that. So let's check it out. Hey, so let's break it down, take a look at the drivetrain for the INCA 710. You know, of course, just press the button on the bottom, grab it with your other hand, and pop the cover off. You just kind of lift and remove, and there we go. Obviously, we've got 3 wheels, which are very unique to this bandsaw. This upper wheel, as you'll see in the other videos, is your wheel that you adjust the tension with, and also the tracking on the wheels. It spins freely, as well as this wheel spins freely. And this is your main drive wheel over here, and you also have the little brush there that keeps that tire clean on there. This little apparatus here, it's kind of like on your car. This is an idler tension pulley, or just a tension pulley, and so you just adjust it up and down. And you can see that belt has a lot of play in it. But I will say this, because sometimes we get in like, oh, that's way too loose, it's way too loose. Well, it's not affected the performance of the bandsaw, and that's what really matters, at least for me. So when I'm doing a resaw, you know, splitting a wood, the bandsaw's never slipped. The blade's not stopped tracking properly. So even with it that loose like that, it is not a problem. Now the problem comes, or the problem will develop, because I can look, I'm almost at the end of how much I can run that pulley down and put more tension on this. Now it will be looser on the bottom. You see there's not a lot of play on top, but over time that belt will stretch out. Now I've had this bandsaw since 2010, okay? So in 13 years I've not changed this out, and it's worn pretty good. It's not like a belt on your car, because we're not in freezing cold temperatures and things like that, but so it will last longer. This is the motor that drives this INCA, and this is a 1.5 horsepower Dayton electrical motor. These are the capacitors up top. I'm thinking this is not the original motor for this bandsaw. That maybe Mr. Homan, the man who originally owned this bandsaw, probably, you know, purchased this from somewhere else and just remounted it to this particular saw. Hey, do me a favor, in the comments below, let me know what type of motor that you have for your INCA bandsaw, and so that'll kind of help us all out a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about the setup. This is just a really, and I'm going to tell you where to get this belt in just a minute, so stay tuned to the end of the video. Now, we're going to talk about this gear drive right here. This is aluminum, and I assume, I've never had this off, that you would probably just need a gear puller to get that off, and then lube it, and then take a block and then drive it back on real carefully. I don't know that to be 100% true. Once again, maybe you know, and you can leave a comment below if you've ever had to pull this back gear off. I tried to look up in here, but you know, there is a cutaway or keyway in there, so it obviously can drive on that shaft. But this back pulley just kind of represents this, and for me, and I can tell by the wear marks here, this thing has pretty much always been in the middle. And so kind of think back to the days of your 10-speed bicycles and stuff when you were a kid. So if you're on the big gear here and the small gear up front, because they all have to be in line. So, you know, if you ever pull this off, you kind of got to make sure that you get your gears in line. Or I'm going to take a straight edge and I'm going to line this up, and you can kind of see how that lines up with that other gear up there. So that's the outside edge to the outside edge of my main wheel here, my drive wheel, if we want to call it that. So that's how you got to get it all lined up. So if you're having belt problems and issues, it might be that perhaps this gear has slid out some, and if your drive belt is jumping, you might want to check your alignment that way to see how it looks. Back to the thing of like when we were kids and 10-speed bicycles and all that stuff, when we wanted to be Evel Knievel and we were jumping trash cans. You remember those days? Yeah, me too. So anyway, I was a legend. I'm telling you, a legend. But anyway, so the big gear in the back and the slow gear up top here, that gives me a higher RPM. Lower in the back and big up front gives me a lower RPM. So lower RPMs, obviously you have more torque and more drive. And so I guess that's why this has always been in the middle. And so, like I said, for 13 years now, I've not had a problem with it being in the middle. So that's your little RPM. There is a little tab in here that tells you about whatever that means, but I'm not a metric dude, and I suck at math. So I can't do the conversion. So anyway, but maybe you probably can. So check that out. So to remove this belt, I've already kind of done this, and I know it's metric, but this 5/16 fits this real well, and I can really just by hand tighten and loosen it. So I'm doing clockwise, and you see the tension pulley is raising up. Man, if this breaks, I don't know where you get another one. But like I said, this is driven by the motor in back. This really spins freely. This is belt driven here, and this just puts tension on this. But you can kind of see this goes down. You know, the belt just gets stretched out is what I'm trying to say. So you have to replace the belt. But how you take it off? So I have that loose. Just simply lift that up, move it over here. You notice I do have the blade off. I slip it past this brush guard right here, and then it just simply rolls right out. To put it back on, this is kind of the same process. I grab it in the middle like this and feed it through, and I'm going for the center, and you got to watch out for your bearings over here. And I'm going to move it over here. I kind of get it fed in the top and rotate it around. Put this one here over like that, and then move it back on. And then you can tighten this up. And so you get your belt on the right track. So we're all lined and ready to go. So what size belt do we need? Well, we're going to have to take a little road trip. Come on, let's go. So we finally, after about 3 trips, and I felt like Goldilocks and the 3 bears because the belt was too big and it was too small, and we finally found one that was kind of just right. But it'll work, but I wish it was just a little smaller. But because it's kind of the same thing, I've got the tension wheel run all the way down. You could try, also, part source is a good source, but also, try lawnmower shops, or maybe even Lowe's or Home Depot. They have the belt sections for the riding mowers and stuff. You might get lucky and find a belt there. So, with the older saws, it is an issue. But let me share with you what I have here. And like I said, this is the DAYCO belt, and the 15535. Okay, 11A 1360. So there's the numbers on that. And that is an automotive DAYCO belt. So, and that works fine. You can see how I do have the tensioner run all the way down. But just like the belt I had on there, this one is not as stretchy, and this will probably last another 10 or 15 years. Like I said, the other belt was doing great, 13 years, and I could have left it on there. And then I took it off for this video, and the guy at the parts store lost my belt, and I didn't think about getting it, and it's gone. So the price I pay for it. Anyway, so we got a belt back on there, and I can start working again. So here it is. Well, cool deal. Hey, remember, leave a comment below. Because of you, I made this video, and I appreciate it so much. INCA 710, super cool 3-wheel bandsaw. Hey, this is Sawdust Dude. I appreciate you watching. Oh yeah, I'll see you real soon. Woo! Where's my belt?